Something happened the other day. This guy wore a dress for a magazine, and these two people got upset about it. It stuck out to me because of something this guy said. I've never been one to speak out about cultural issues. I regularly have no idea what is going on. But I just feel like there's a joke here. Let me explain. To boil down the point of these two is that seeing men in dresses will somehow make Western culture stop making manly men. The clothes we wear is important. So this is the tweet that was out there. And this guy decided to say something about it. He was responded to like this. And it's so close, but why no cigar?
Let's assume for a second the honesty of some folks on the left who at least acknowledge that femininity and masculinity exist. They also have indicators, outward indicators. Dress has been, for virtually all time and in virtually all cultures, an outward indicator, which is why the Bible explicitly says that it is against cross-dressing, for example. Okay, but in virtually every culture, men and women dress differently. This does not mean that all men dress the same and all women in all cultures dress the same. It means that in every culture, there is a distinction between how men dress and how women dress. The stupidest form of the argument that I saw yesterday online was, well, in Scotland, they wear kilts. That means that a man in America wearing a skirt, a floofy skirt, is the same as a man in Scotland wearing a kilt. No, because they also distinguish between how men wear clothes and women wear clothes in Scotland, too. It's just that men wear different clothes than men in America. It's the most idiotic thing. People are like, well, yeah, back in Roman times, men wore togas. You understand, those were basically just dresses. Yes, and women wore a different form of clothing. At the time, women and men were distinguishable by dress. They have always been distinguishable by dress in virtually every human culture. And noting that men wore floofier stuff in the 16th century in Britain does not change the fact that women wore completely different clothing in the 16th century in Britain. Right? This is a category error, you morons.
Shoot, men in Great Britain in the 1600s wore floofy clothes, but women wore something different and floofy in a completely different way. Case closed. Boom. Debated. Well, let's see what the entertainment of the floofier time has to say about cross-dressing. Here's a question on noshitshakespeare.tumblr.com. It highlights my point well. It's about Romeo and Juliet. The question is, what is Juliet saying with her line, "You kiss by the book"? Is it just to rhyme with "have my lips the sin that they have took"? If Romeo is the first man she's kissed, what is she comparing it to? Thank you. Anonymous writes back, the rhyme is part of it, but this line is part of the elaborate pilgrim saint roleplay metaphor that Romeo and Juliet are playing with during their first encounter, setting Juliet up as a saint, or the statue of a saint that a pilgrim is visiting. Romeo kisses her and says, "Thus, from my lips, by thine, my sin is purged." The idea is that because she's a saint, she can purge his sins, but Juliet playfully responds that if she's taken his sin from him, then her lips now have his sin on them. Then have my lips the sin that they have took. This is a veiled hint that Romeo ought to kiss her again, and he takes it as such, purportedly kissing her in order to take back the sin that he's left on her lips. "Sin from my lips, O trespasses sweetly urged, give me my sin again," kisses her. It's a trespass because they've been setting up the idea that kisses are sins, at least for the duration of this roleplay. Also, it's clear that Romeo has taken Juliet's comment as a maidenly request when he says that it is sweetly urged. She's given him a modest and acceptable courtly reason that they can kiss again. Juliet's "you kiss by the book" is a response to all of this, and especially to Romeo's elaborate and ritualized wooing style, the poetic language, the elaborate metaphors, the rationale for getting a kiss from her. Essentially, she's joking that he gets kisses according to the instruction manual and doesn't deviate from the rules, that his method is ritualistic, if courtly. She's not comparing it to anyone else, but to love stories and etiquette she's familiar with. It might also be a reference to the Bible, and the fact that Romeo uses outwardly Christian reasoning to get a kiss from her, hence he kisses according to the book. Isn't that a cute scene? What point does it make about cross-dressing? Well, none, really. I just wanted to remind everyone how prolific Shakespeare was. Oh, and that women were not legally allowed on the stage until well after his death.
Men have always done cross-dressing. There have always been some segment of men who cross-dress. Very often it was played for comedy, and the entire premise of Some Like It Hot is that it is funny when men cross-dress.
Hold up, hold up, hold up. Wait, Harry Styles is English, and he's the one wearing the dress. So seeing men in dresses does create a society of men wearing dresses.
Well, let's look at another example from England, using a more masculine trait. How about punching someone in the face, let's say?
And some behavior is more masculine, like punching people in the face.
Here's my favorite example of a manly man from England.
Michael, the Count Bisping!
Family man.
Are those guys doing right there?
What are those guys doing right there?
Yeah.
They are filming.
What are those guys doing about?
They're filming about you.
What?
Yeah!
About me?
They're filming about you because you're super cool.
Oh.
And they know you're gonna be a superhero.
Trash talker.
Oh yeah, 'cause you'd not. What's your belt, dickwad? Hey, I can do a couple of walk-arounds if you want to jump in.
A true man of principles.
Anytime somebody says it was a tainted supplement, it's bullshit.
You never tested positive for anything.
Never tested positive in my life. Let me tell you something. I'm not a guy that scours the back of everything I read. I'm a careless motherfucker. I really am. I wish I wasn't, but I am. I'll just go through my life doing what I do. I've been tested a million times, never come close. Okay, some other guys, they blow up the lab.
I talked so much shit to you on Twitter and you never blocked me, and now I'm a fan.
You can kiss my ass.
Won a UFC middleweight championship with only one eye.
Recently, he goes on his podcast and he removes his eye. So when that discoloration, all of a sudden, oh, Bisping's eye looks great, I guess it's healed. No, he went and got a glass eye. He was doing fights with a glass eye. He was fighting and won a world championship with one eye.
My point? Don't worry about men being more feminine or wearing dresses. Society will not crumble. Besides, I would rather live in a colorful world that has people like this.
Paul, by the way, I love Eddie, by the way. I used to watch your stand-up special with my dad, also a Breitbart editor, by the way.
Right, okay.
Dressing like a woman before was cool. That's cool. So,
Well, I don't say I'm dressing like a woman. I just say these, I'm just wearing clothes, Like women, when they wear pants, they're not dressing like men anymore, so...
and lipstick and eyeliner. And
Yeah, I'm just going for equal rights for everyone.
I love the nails, too.
Then a bland, boring world where people live to the strict standards of people like this.